Hello, this is Atulia K. Bingham, and I'm going to answer some questions about being off-grid and what it means to be off-grid and why would you want to be. Right, well, a question that comes up a lot in forums and to me personally is this. But you're not off-grid, are you? Because you're using the internet still and money. Right, first of all, we're not living in a binary world. It's a really strange thing, particularly in the modern world, this kind of ideology thing, right? It's not an ideology being off-grid, it's not religion. You don't have to be purist about it. There are many options. It's not a case of like you just have to live in a bearskin in a cave or you're a slave to the system. There's many, many options in between that and beyond that. So the question really that you've got to ask yourself when it comes to being off-grid is this. To what extent are you using the system? And to what extent is it using you? Because it's supposed to be there for our benefit. We're supposed to be using it. But that isn't the case for the vast majority of the people are being used. It becomes really obvious when you actually live off-grid that that's the case because of the amount of work. I wouldn't say that being off-grid is you're not sitting on a sun lounger all day. You're working, but it's very different and the hours are very different, and it's in terms of health and what it gives you, it's very different. Now, let me just show you my power system up here. This is a modest power system. It runs so up there you can see that's the inverter. That's the inverter, that's the controller, and this is my fuse box. And I've got a couple of batteries down here and in this box, which you can't see. But anyway, there is a myth out there that you need to have stacks of money to go off-grid. This is a nonsense. Please don't buy into it. If you want to go off-grid, you do it on incredibly small budgets if you want to. The important thing and the real thing about being off-grid actually is this. It's simplification. Most Westerners and modern people's lives are overcomplicated, and that complication gives them nothing. It simply takes away from them. Now, the more you can simplify, the more you are free. In fact, the more beauty and wealth, the other kinds of wealth that you actually have. Now, that power system I'm showing you runs my computer so that I can go online. It runs my lights. I can power a few very simple power tools with it. Basics. Nothing. I don't have a fridge. And I don't have a washing machine. I've lived like that for 10 years, and you still wouldn't get me back into your city with all your buttons that do everything for you. That convenience for me is nothing compared to the freedom and the beauty that I have in my life. And I think I live better than a lot of millionaires. You may disagree, but have you actually lived the way I'm living? Ask yourself that first before you comment. Because I really think people are so conned by that convenience thing. Now, I've got two solar panels. These are second-hand panels. In fact, they were given to me, but you can see there, you don't need to have the flashiest system out there. You can do this very, very cheaply. And I've got a water tank there, which stores as a backup tank for my water, which comes from a spring. And yeah, I've got my chickens over here, you might be able to see, giving me eggs. I've got two food gardens, and over there you can see my wood pile. I don't pay for power, I don't pay for heating, I don't pay for water, and I don't pay for a lot of my food. The majority of my food now, I'd say. So, but, of course, I do use the system still. I do go to the hairdresser. And I do use money. But here's the thing, not as much as you. That's the thing about being off-grid. You start to understand how much you were spending just on remaining in the system, in the job. And I think really I can say now I've lived off-grid in 2 different countries. It does depend on where you live as to how cheaply you can live. But somewhere between 200 and 400 euros in Europe, you can do quite well on that. And going back to what I said about, are you using the system or is it using you? The point is, the money that I'm using is mostly spent on caprice, on things, things that I want to do. And it's understanding this difference between what do you need and what do you want. People have become so disenfranchised by that system, they don't even know anymore what they actually need to survive, you know, and what they want. And I hear people saying things, I need this. No, and most of the time they don't need it at all. It's creating a very anxiety-filled mindset for something they don't need at all. They've just created that idea in their head. Very few things you need, in fact. You need shelter, you need heat if you're in a cold climate. You need food, you need water, you need clothes. That's what you need. That's it. All the rest is you can live without, and who knows, your life might even improve. Now, so the amount of money you need if you're off-grid is small. This is the important point. So you don't have to slog your guts out doing something you hate to earn 200, 300, 400 euros a month. You can get by. But here's the very important thing at the moment. You're no longer beholden to the system. As I said, I'm using the system, it's not using me. It doesn't really have anything on me. So if tomorrow the whole thing collapses, which quite frankly is not wholly beyond the realms of possibility right now, or the banks stop giving you money, or for any given reason suddenly there's a weird political thing going on and they say you need this or that paper to do this or that thing, it's not your problem anymore. That system doesn't have anything on me. Now, that doesn't mean I don't care. But I'll be frank, I've for the last 10 years I've been giving my information for free to everybody out there so that they can use it, and I really wish more people would stand in their power and in their true self and have at least a taste of what freedom means. But I'm not able to make those decisions on behalf of other people. I've offered what I can for free, and it's actually thanks to, I would like to thank the Mud Home patrons at this point who keep that information coming. Oodles of it. It's like an encyclopedia, so if you don't know that, go to themudhome.com and check it all out. But what can I do? If other people, more than that I cannot do. So everybody has to make their own choice. But here's the point. If you are off-grid and you've simplified your life like that, then basically that system no longer has you in its clutches. If I can't use money tomorrow, I'm not going to die. I'm not even actually that worried about it. I kind of think it might be fun to try. It's not even worrying me. Yeah, because I know I can survive quite a while before I'm going to go hungry or cold. I don't think I'm ever going to go cold. And that while, let's say you've got 6 months to a year space. That time period is long. It gives me plenty of time to start preparing for the next 6 months to a year, right? So that's what you want to think about. The beauty of being off-grid is A, you're no longer dealing with power companies and water companies who are quite insidious most of the time. B, you are no longer beholden to a system which looks more and more bonkers by the moment, if you ask me. And C, you don't need much money, so you don't have to do an awful job that you hate just to get by. And I'll finish, after I worked in Taiwan, I had to go back to the system for a couple of years to finish my mud house off in Turkey. And I went back in and I worked for 2 years in the system. And afterwards, I travelled to Thailand, I remember, and I was on a beach and I met a French guy who was just living on the beach selling shells. And I remember asking him, and I said, I just don't understand how people can stay in that system forever and ever. How can they live like that? And I never forget his answer. And he said, it's because they don't know. They don't know what this is. Never was a true word spoken, really. People think that that thing that they're in down there is helping them or is a convenience, and for the vast majority of the people, nothing could be further from the truth. People just don't know that there is another life out there, that they don't need half the things that they think they need. So if to clarify that point actually about what you do need and what you don't need, there's a free off-grid prep course at the Mud Home which people like a lot, to get you clear, because people are so confused. Get clear on what you do need. When you're looking for land, get clear on what you actually need. Get clear on what it means to be off-grid, and get clear. And that prep course is free. Email course will lead you through that and give you a lot of pointers, maybe save you some frustration and heartache in the long run. So have a look at that too. Yeah, take care, folks, and I really hope anybody who steps into this new life is not going to regret it, in my opinion.